Welcome to Building the Bridge, the Collaborative Resilient Leadership Project in EI at the OSEP 2022 Leadership and Project Directors Conference.
In our North Dakota Early Intervention Program, we've really been focusing on how to engage local leaders to really make a difference in their programs and be a part of the leadership opportunities that are there. A part of this focus was applying and successfully getting a Resilient Early Intervention Leadership Project through the 325L grants that OSEP offers. This allowed us to really focus on how we can develop resilient leaders.
In looking at the projects that the grant would incorporate, we really had to consider a variety of things for North Dakota. We're a very rural state. COVID was going on, and so a lot of things became virtual, and how we looked at that, we wanted to really re-envision leadership so that we looked at anyone can be a leader and how do we support that through stakeholder involvement, relationships, engagement. So each of the projects that we designed as part of this grant encompassed these considerations.
As part of our grant, we developed the REAL Grant Advisory Group. This is made up of 15 members, and their purpose is to advise and support our overall grant activities. They are supporting us throughout the entirety of the grant, and we really wanted to ensure that the advisory group was made up of individuals from across the early childhood landscape. So it includes service coordinators, early intervention professionals, we have higher ed representation on there, we have family members and individuals from Head Start, Early Head Start, and other early childhood entities across the state. We also created the Competency Development Workgroup, and this workgroup is made up of 10 members. They meet monthly, and their purpose is really to create and publish leadership competency assessment tools for North Dakota early intervention. And again, we wanted to ensure we had a broad representation across the early childhood field.
Another of our projects for the grant was far-reaching. We wanted to encompass as many early childhood professionals as possible, so we developed the Resilient Early Childhood Leadership Collaborative. The collaborative brings together monthly in a webinar format 100 professionals in all of the cross sections that we previously talked about, with the focus looking at resilient leadership for nearly 18 months, with many support materials being provided. As a part of this section of the grant, the 100 participants in early childhood received very helpful webinars, and they're still ongoing, around resilient leadership, including relationships, internal beliefs, initiative, self-control, reflection on leadership. And then we moved into talking about adult resilience, family resilience, and also resilience and racial equity.
Throughout the grant, we used a Plan, Do, Study, Act model where we were collecting data so that we could make data-informed decisions. We were very interested in how participants increase their confidence in using resilient leadership, specifically in their practice. And you can see here the survey for almost and completely. When we put those two together, about 70% of those that were a part of the RELC said that they did increase their confidence in using those key principles. There were several different kinds of comments, but really what they reported was that they're understanding their strengths. They have more of an awareness of the expectations of themselves, that they're taking care of themselves through self-care strategies. They're learning more ways to be reflective of their interactions and to build teamwork within themselves and the groups that they work with. Another one of the projects that we incorporated into the grant was an early intervention leadership certificate through the University of North Dakota. And this certificate accompanies 4 different courses, which is 12 credits that participants across the early childhood profession can participate in. And we started one cohort in January of 22 of 18 professionals across the state. in really looking at evidence-based strategies and components of early intervention, along with courses to really build that leadership and have mentoring, so that no matter what level you're at, you could be a brand new professional in the field or someone who's worked many years or a parent, but we would have mentoring to really look at your leadership skills and building them across early intervention.
In the projects of the Resilient Early Intervention Leadership Grant, we've worked really hard to incorporate the DEC leadership recommended practices that you see here and on the next slide. We've also had this focus on anything we're working on within our state to keep bringing back the focus on DEC recommended practices.
We thank you for your time today and encourage you to reach out to any of us. We have lots more to share. And we wanted to take a moment to thank OSEP for the 325L funding that has made this project possible.